A rookie quarterback is making NFL coaches change their signals, hire psychologists, and question everything they know. Why? Because Shedeur Sanders just turned football into psychological warfare and he's winning.
I have thoughts on Shedeur in a sec. Well, I'll answer your Shedeur thing. That remind me to answer your Kirk Cousins market thing in a second. I like talking to Shedeur. He was incredibly thoughtful. He views sort of the criticism world, the hot take world, the I'm going to pick you apart world, kind of the same way that I do with Instagram and Twitter comments, which might be why I like him so much. Because he knows they're out there. He kind of laughs a little bit, shakes his head and rolls his eyes, addresses what he sort of kind of needs to address, but knows it doesn't really mean anything.
You want the truth. You're not ready for it. Because right now, in NFL facilities across the country, veteran defensive coordinators, guys with Super Bowl rings, decades of experience are panicking. Not because of a touchdown pass, not because of a viral highlight, but because of a rookie quarterback who just cracked their code. And that quarterback, you already know who it is. Shedeur Sanders fans, this isn't hype. This is the moment we've all been waiting for, and it changes everything. This week, NFL insider Rapoport dropped a bombshell. And no, it wasn't buried in a tweet. This was exclusive, behind the curtain intel straight from the Browns facility. The kind of stuff they usually don't let leak. But it leaked anyway, and now the whole league knows. Shedeur Sanders isn't just preparing for the NFL, he's outsmarting it. Let's break it down. While most rookies are still learning to call plays in the huddle, Shedeur is in the building at 2 a.m. watching film. Not just watching it, breaking it down frame by frame. But here's the wild part. He's not studying players. He's studying coaches. Let that sink in. We're not talking about route combinations or cover to shells. Shedeur is building psychological profiles of the men trying to stop him. He's digging into their habits, their tendencies, their body language. He's building what insiders now call coordinator blueprints. But what happened next? Nobody saw it coming, not even the critics. What happens when a quarterback knows your favorite blitz call before you even signal it in? What happens when he knows your go-to coverage on 3rd and long just by reading the game situation? According to Rapoport, it's already happening at Browns camp. Defensive coordinators are literally having to change their signals because Shedeur is reading them before they're even made. Now let's talk about the moment that really lit the fuse. Sources say during one practice, Shedeur identified a disguised blitz before the DC even gave the sign. The coach had to stop, regroup, and switch the call on the fly. Let me be clear, this isn't just film study. This is mind games. And just when you think you figured him out, Shedeur changes the whole game. Rapoport's sources revealed Shedeur has studied not just NFL defenses, but the people behind them. He's gone back 3 to 4 years on certain coordinators. He knows when they get conservative. He knows when they get desperate. He knows when they fall into old habits, diets. Like playing poker against someone who knows your tells. This is what separates Shedeur. Most quarterbacks look at what defenses do. Shedeur is looking at why they do it. He's cataloging every time a coach shows pressure on 2nd down and backs off. Every time a coordinator panics under 2-minute drill pressure and falls into his safe zone. And then he uses it against them. And he's not keeping it to himself. He's teaching his teammates what to look for. That's right, this is no longer just Shedeur's game plan. It's Cleveland's game plan. Now, we need to talk about what this means for the future of the position. Because if Shedeur is successful, and all signs say he will be, then we're not just witnessing the rise of a superstar. We're witnessing a new era of quarterbacking. This isn't just about talent. This is about intel. This is about Shedeur creating coordinator profiles that map out every tendency, every weakness, every breakdown moment. Picture this: end of the half, down by 3. The opposing DC leans on his favorite nickel zone. Shedeur is already 2 steps ahead. He's got a route combo loaded that rips that coverage to pieces. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Come on, it's training camp. Everyone looks good in July. But this isn't about hype. This is about behavior, patterns, psychology. Veteran coaches are already adjusting their game prep, not because Shedeur is lighting them up with highlight plays, but because they're terrified of what he's going to do when he fully learns the Browns' offense. Because guess what? He's not even playing with a full deck yet. He's still learning the playbook, still figuring out the rhythm with his receivers. And he's already got defensive coaches second-guessing themselves. But champions aren't made in comfort. What Shedeur did next proved exactly that. Let's talk about the tell system. Yeah, that's a real thing now, according to Rapoport. Shedeur has started cataloging nonverbal cues from coaches. You heard that right. He's watching for the little things when a coordinator adjusts his headset before a blitz, or a certain posture before a coverage shift. He's treating coaches like poker players with bad habits, and he's teaching his teammates to spot those habits. This isn't just about beating the defense on the field. This is about controlling the defense from the sideline.
Or roll that probably lasted 2 hours and then it was gone. And I think he really, more so than many other players, really understands the nature of like the 24-hour news cycle and how meaningless a lot of it is, especially in like the hot take world. I kind of like that, like he's been criticized his whole life. He's had a spotlight on him his whole life. I'm really starting to believe, I'm not talking about him on the field. On the field, the evaluators will make whatever evaluations they have and he'll be ranked however he's ranked in the buildings. But off the field, I have a hard time imagining a quarterback is better prepared for whatever spotlight he's going to get. Like if he gets to New York, that's a lot. And it was a lot for Daniel Jones. Eli was kind of used to it, but let's say the Giants take him at 3. There's no prospect better prepared for the Giants or whatever than Shedeur Sanders.
You're about to hear the moment that had fans, players, even rivals on their feet. Imagine being a defensive coordinator and realizing that the rookie QB you're game planning for already knows your favorite red zone look. And not because he saw it on film, but because he studied the coach you used to work under. That's right, he's tracking coaching trees, philosophies, history. He knows that if you studied under Dick LeBeau, there's a 70% chance you'll disguise cover 3 out of a dime look on 3rd and 5. And he's got a hot read built for it. Now let's talk about pressure points. According to Rapoport, Shedeur has identified exactly when certain coordinators break, when they revert to that one play they always trust, when they get rattled and call their safe coverage, and when they do, it's game over. Let this next moment sink in because it might just define the future of the Browns. And Shedeur Sanders himself. This is what has the league in full scramble mode. Coaches are changing signals, rewriting tendencies. Some are even considering hiring sports psychologists to mask their own behavior. This isn't football like we've known it. This is chess on a whole new level. And Shedeur Sanders, he's already 10 moves ahead. Now that we know what Shedeur is doing in preparation, let's talk about the impact. Not tomorrow, not next season, right now. Because even before he's taken a snap in a regular season NFL game, defensive coordinators are already changing how they operate just to keep up. That's not projection, that's reality. Multiple league insiders say game planning has become a paranoia-filled process. Coordinators are holding closed-door meetings just to figure out what Shedeur might already know. One AFC coach reportedly rewrote his entire 3rd down package because he was convinced Shedeur had cracked his signal system from 2 seasons ago. This isn't just rare, it's unheard of. We've seen great quarterbacks rise. We've seen athletic freaks, rocket arms, elite decision makers. But what Shedeur Sanders is doing, it's not just performance, it's evolution. He's shifting the balance of power from coaches back to quarterbacks. And while Shedeur hasn't even played a regular season game yet, the psychological pressure he's putting on defenses is already showing up in subtle but powerful ways. You want examples? Let's go deeper. One Browns insider reported that during a recent team install, Shedeur interrupted the coaches' meeting and asked for a specific clip not from the Browns' upcoming opponent, but from a 2021 game coached by that opponent's current DC, back when he was with another team. Why? Because Shedeur recognized a situational call that had never shown up on tape this season, but was likely to show up now. That's not guesswork. That's chess. Remember what Rapoport said. Shedeur is creating psychological profiles not just of defensive schemes, but of defensive players too. That includes knowing which linebacker is most likely to bite on play action, which safety panics when motion comes pre-snap, and which cornerback gets lazy on double moves. Let's pause on that for a second. This means Shedeur's prepping for games by mentally dissecting every piece of the defense, not just the structure, but the human behavior inside it. Here's the part that stunned even the veterans. Stay with me. During training camp, sources say Shedeur ran a designed rollout. Before the snap, he motioned a receiver in a way that caused the opposing safety to shift slightly. That safety had a known tendency to overcommit when faced with jet motion something Shedeur had charted from college tape. Boom, play action, safety bites, tight end leaks up the seam, easy 30-yard gain, and the entire sideline silent because they realized what had just happened. Shedeur didn't beat the coverage. He predicted it, manipulated it, and broke it before the defense even knew it was happening. This is where the NFL is panicking. Because once word gets out that a quarterback is reading not just your scheme, but your mindset. Everything you've built starts to feel vulnerable. What happens when unpredictability, the cornerstone of great defensive coaching, is no longer enough? What happens when a quarterback wants you to think you fooled him? Because that's what Shedeur is doing. Rapoport's reporting says Sanders has been baiting DCs into revealing their coverage by showing predictable tendencies on purpose. Let that sink in. He'll run a vanilla offensive look 3 times in a row, knowing it'll cause the defense to relax into a pattern. And the moment he sees the coach lean into that comfort zone, boom, he unleashes a counter package designed to burn them. That's not just anticipation, that's control. But champions aren't made in comfort. What Shedeur did next proved exactly that. Now, let's ask the hard question. How is this even possible? How is a rookie, fresh out of college, already dissecting the NFL's best and brightest? Some say it's Deion's influence. The man raised him in a football war room. Some say it's genetics, elite awareness runs in the family. But ask people around Cleveland, and they'll tell you something different. It's obsession. Shedeur Sanders is obsessed with winning the mental game. Teammates say he's the last to leave the building and the first to arrive. Not because he has to, but because he can't not know what the opposing coach is going to do in crunch time. He's been spotted watching film from 2017 Steelers playoff games, just to analyze how certain DCs handle pressure with mobile quarterbacks. That's not game prep, that's deep research. And let's talk about what makes it terrifying for the rest of the league. Shedeur isn't even using his full playbook yet. Let this next moment sink in, because it might just define the future of the Browns and Shedeur Sanders himself. That's right, he's doing this while still learning Kevin Stefanski's system, still adjusting to NFL speed, still sensing with his W's. So imagine what happens next season when Shedeur knows the Browns' offense like the back of his hand, when he can audible freely, check at the line, run hurry up with total command. That's when this gets scary, because then there are no blind spots. Then Shedeur doesn't just win pre-snap, he dominates post-snap. And what we're seeing now in practice, the broken defenses, the exposed coordinators, that's just the early warning sign. Let's talk ripple effects. This is where Cleveland made the move that rewrote the entire season. NFL teams are reportedly doing everything they can to stop Shedeur from gaining an edge. Coaches are deleting old practice film. They're scrubbing tendencies. Some teams are altering hand signals, even during training camp scrimmages. Rapoport says one team is already looking into bringing in a behavioral specialist to help their defensive staff eliminate unconscious tells. Yes, you heard that right. A sports psychologist for the coaches because of a rookie quarterback. That's the Shedeur effect. And we haven't even reached week 1. So what happens next? Let's zoom out. If Shedeur Sanders is successful with this style of preparation, we're not just looking at a top-tier quarterback. We're looking at a quarterbacking revolution. He's proving that elite mental processing, defensive psychology, and film obsession can outperform even raw athleticism. He's changing how we measure success at the position. You're about to hear the moment that had fans, players, even rivals on their feet. This is no longer about arm strength. This is no longer about 40-yard dash times. This is about the 6 inches between your ears, and Shedeur Sanders has turned those 6 inches into a battleground he's already winning. So now we leave you with this. Are we witnessing the NFL's first quarterback built for mental warfare? Is Shedeur Sanders the cheat code, the glitch in the system that exposes how outdated defensive coaching really is? Or will the league find a way to adapt, to evolve, to neutralize him before he rewrites the quarterback position for good? One thing is for sure, every coach watching this, every scout in the league, every opposing defensive staff prepping for the Browns, they're already asking themselves the same terrifying question. What does Shedeur know about me that I don't even know about myself? This is the new NFL. This is the Shedeur era. And this story, it's just getting started. If you believe Shedeur Sanders is the future of football, hit that like button right now. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What should defensive coordinators do next? And don't forget to subscribe. We've got more game-changing Shedeur content dropping every week. This is NFL Daily Dose. This is the revolution. Like, comment, subscribe.